what do you get when you have a script for Doctor Strange and then realize you can't use Doctor Strange? We have Dr. Morbid. No, not Mordrid. Mordrid. Get that stuffed up either way.
It certainly was.
Of course, VHS Jason. That is Jason Roy Gaston. And as you've seen by the thumbnail, we are talking Dr. Mordrid. Now, why are we talking this film? Because of Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Jeffrey, I did it for you. Yeah, did it all for you.
Were you aware of this movie before I suggested this movie?
I was not. You said, we're going to do Dr. Mordrid. And I was like, oh, what is that, a drug? No, it's Jeffrey Combs movie. I was, oh, cool, Jeffrey Combs. I'm in.
We're in. It's a really
I knew I was in trouble the second that the credits rolled and it said Full Moon Entertainment. I just thought, oh.
Yes, Full Moon Entertainment. Produced by Charles Band of this film. Charles Band was also better known for making the Reanimator movies. Yes, he did. And he also did another fantastic film that we also love, Robot Jocks.
Oh,
so that was what behind this film. It's directed, funnily enough, by a father and son team. So I really love the fact that this is a dad and his boy making a movie, which is cool. But yes, I wasn't lying. This was initially, the concept was for Jeffrey Combs to play an iteration of Doctor Strange. And they didn't have the licensing deal no more.
No, so they had it at one point then?
They did have it at one point.
Okay. So I just thought that they... I just thought that they just wrote it and crossed their fingers or something. That'd be, well, I wrote a Spider-Man script, but fortunately we don't have the Spider-Man. Yeah, I just don't.
Well, there was also another script going around. I think it was called Mortalis, something like that. So they took both those scripts and kind of combined them together for this. But this is a Jeffrey Combs vehicle for sure. But Jason, I could not find any evidence of this. But does this very short movie at 74 minutes smack to you as a TV pilot that they couldn't sell? And so therefore they expanded it?
I think about it. I can see it as a TV pilot.
This is definitely smacks of it. And you think about how much of this movie is set in this set. Like his main, do I have the picture of it?
Well, they spent a lot of money in that library set. I mean, I remember watching the movie thinking, wow, for a butt movie that had no budget, that set looks really good. I wonder where it's at. I wonder if they had permission to film there or if they just came in. Quick, bring Combs. Have him say something over here. Security guard, hurry.
So he basically plays a sorcerer, been around for 150 years. There's more to it. It's a very simple plot. And that's why I reckon it's smacks of TV pilot. Because it'll literally go to the introduction of the character, the setup of the bad guy. He gets arrested. He gets out of there. And there's a really minor showdown at the end of this. That's the plot, Jason. It isn't much more technical than that.
It's really not. It's very simple. I think simple is the best word I can use. It's simple. It's not stupid. It's not ostentatious. It doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. It's just simple. It's like a 12-year-old wrote it.
Exactly.
That's it.
I would agree with that. Look, this isn't a film that will set you on fire. It's very slow, actually. For 74 minutes, you know they are stretching moments and scenes out in that editing bay. You could easily cut this down to 44 minutes. Now, but also in saying this, I'm not going to destroy all the performances in this movie. Certainly not Jeffrey Combs, who clearly, like he does every other time, steals every scene he's in.
Oh, yes.
And he does. He overpowers any other actor in with him.
Yes, he does.
Though there were many shots of him looking confused in this movie, which was hilarious to me. There were so many close-ups of poor Jeffrey looking confused. I think like the rest of us. But wow, what a start. I mean, what a start. I mean, we start off with Jeffrey Combs. Look at, by the way, I love the
Nanu. More Colin Orson. It does look good.
How weird is this, though? Like, you know you're in something trippy when they've gone, what are we going to do? Set eyeballs to do it. Unbelievable.
Hey there, Mr. Blue. Yeah, I don't know. I had serious Mork and Mindy vibes during the entire bit. It looked interesting. It looked good. It looked TV pilot-ish budget.
Yeah.
They could shoot the eyes and then just recycle the footage for every episode. I didn't think it was terrible.
Even the leading actress, but she was functional. She was competent.
She was certainly present, yes.
She was competent, I think.
Yvette Nipar.
Yvette Nipar.
I don't recognize her from anything before or after. I'm sure she's probably done stuff.
Not much.
Not much, but I'm sure that there is stuff.
No. Okay, I've got to get to it. I love this actor. I like him. He always played a good villain. In fact, he played a great villain in Cobra.
We're talking about Brian Thompson, aren't we?
But Brian Thompson.
Brian freaking Thompson.
Who is talking theatrically throughout it with very simple dialogue.
He is the one character in Mortal Kombat Annihilation who is both taking it seriously and who is also just enjoying himself the entire time. And every time he's on screen, I'm just like, God, I wish he was in more of this movie. It would be better. Brian Thompson is a national treasure, an absolute national treasure. I hope he never stops making movies. I hope he never stops doing anything. You see him everywhere, especially in the 90s. You saw him on the X-Files. You saw him on Star Trek. You saw him.
He was great in the X-Files.
He was terrific in the X-Files.
Yes.
But he's terrific in everything because he never gives a bad performance. And he is somebody who knows how to act without saying a word either. He can convey things just by a look or just by, that's the I'm going to kill you look. That's the I'm going to do something else. I will agree
with you. His physicality is his great strength. He can say a lot without saying anything. But man, some of the lines he has to deliver. Like at one point he goes to Dr. Mordrid, I'm going to drink your blood and then taste on your flesh. I'm like, okay.
Kinky.
Even Dr. Mordrid's going, well, where did that come from? That seems weird. He's past in this. And his defeat is the worst defeat ever.
Yeah, it's just
petrified. So he's just on set all day going, that's it. All right, can we do that again, Brian?
Okay, once more with feeling.
Terrible. And mind you, hell of a mullet. We'll give him that.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Great mullet.
He pulls it off, and he could pull it off today. I don't care. That is a handsome mullet right there. I want to talk about the character of Adrian, played by Keith Coriolis, I believe. He was the thug that Brian Thompson's character.
Andrew Garfield.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's like
Andrew Garfield.
It's like Andrew Garfield and James Callis had a son and then neglected him. Okay, I am not going to say that this man is a super talented thespian, but my goodness, he gave it his all, and he certainly, he shot his shot, and it may have circled the rim and not gone in, but let me tell you something. That was, while it was circling the rim, everybody in the audience was going, yay! Because he was so much fun. He was so much fun.
He went straight in there, turned that volume up to 10 and wrote it all the way through this movie. And right. Even at the end, there's a slightly funny moment. There's a couple of real funny moments in this, actually. And one of them is when he eventually gets shot. That really hurts, which I thought was fun. I don't have the picture, but there's this great moment where Brian Thompson's in the museum and he walks up behind this family, his father and the son, I think, or mother and the son, and they're looking at the dinosaurs. Kid says something. He says something in return. It's just when Brian Thompson walks away, this kid perfectly, and forgive the language, turns around and goes, dickhead. And I thought it was the greatest moment. I was hysterical at this kid who's seen Brian Thompson, gave him some knowledge about the dinosaurs, or said something like, "Oh no, they were much bigger."
Yeah,
you know?
I remember that.
But it's just his deadpan.
Well,
so there is actually some.
Cabal is kind of a dickhead, though. I completely agree.
Yeah. But the kid does it so well. Look, there is something in here that I can see why it didn't probably go to series, but man, I wish it had. That's what I'm rooting for. Dr. Mordrid TV series. You couldn't do it today, of course, but wow. And, I'm happy this film's existed because it just proved again to the dumbest producers in Hollywood that Mr. Jeffrey Combs is a talent and deserved much bigger roles in much bigger productions.
I completely agree.
So, would I go out and recommend this film? Yeah. Do I recommend maybe you have a couple of tequila shots before it? Yeah. But besides that, look, it is what it is. These movies, we forget about them because they make them in the background. We find them in the $2 bins at Walmart. We see them on little known streaming services like Tubi. But there's something to romanticize and appreciate for these films because talent does come from this stuff. Your little kind of special effects guy gets his first big shot in something like Dr. Mordrid and then gets a career out of it. So, not the highest quality of film, but at the end of the day, it's only 74 minutes. What are you complaining about?
There's not a single person in this movie who's not trying. There's not a single person in this movie who you feel like is slumming it. Everybody in this movie is giving it their all, both in front of and behind the camera. The movie was not the strongest, but you can definitely tell that nobody involved in it believed that. And for that alone, it's fun to watch. It's not great, but it's fun. There is a Mystery Science Theater version of it, though. That helps.
Check it out. That helps. Well, the other thing I will say about this, anything that this film is at fault with is actually in the production side of things and not the performance side. I really think this movie just needed really good judicious editing. Maybe if they had a bit more budget, go outside a bit more would have been nice. But besides that, look, this film's fun. I mean, how often do you get to see Jeffrey Combs as a sorcerer who's looking rather dapper, might I say, right there? Great hair, great costume.
This is right before he turns all of Cabal's bad guys into dancers and they do this big synchronized dance in front of him.
The other moment that made me laugh was the uncovering of the Philosopher's Stone. There's a moment where Cabal sees this giant Philosopher's Stone, which he takes from a table, picks it up, and just puts it on another table. No reason for it to be moved. Could have done everything he wanted to do right where he was, but he failed to move it. And God bless Brian Thompson, because he's trying hard here, Jason. He's trying
he is.
Real hard to make this Philosopher's Stone look heavy. But I'm sorry, mate. It looks like a styrofoam Philosopher's Stone.
Well, in Brian Thompson's defense, I think that an actual stone box would probably not be that heavy to Brian Thompson. You're like, oh, it's so heavy. Oh, my goodness. Wow, I pulled a muscle. Oh.
It's just great. And, that's not Brian's fault. That's the director going, no. We're going to do a shot here, and then he's going to carry it, and we're going to pan over here and then lay it down. It'll be epic. No, it was unnecessary, but added to the charm for what is a very silly film, but a film that I'm glad I've watched. And I think you should go out and watch it because why not? You should support Jeffrey Combs. Even if this film was made 30 years ago, support the man. Watch all his stuff.
Absolutely. Help contribute to the man's royalties, him and Brian Thompson.
Yes. Because, they're great actors. Not necessarily the hero and the villain of this film, because the real hero of the film is this guy.
Oh, my goodness. Popeye.
Yes, because he did it. Oh, my God, he did it. Remember? Right at the end, he goes,
I'll save the universe.
He saved the universe. Good on him. Well, that's it. That's our little review on Dr. Mordrid. We've got to move on, Jason, and talk about our next episode because we're back in the Alien franchise. Okay, this is an interesting one. Do you consider this It has to be in the Alien franchise, right? We accept that, but it seems to be so far removed from what we've been watching. And of course,
it's in the Alien franchise. It's canon. It takes place in the same universe. Deal with it.
Yeah. It's probably like watching episode 1 to Return of the Jedi, really, and that is Prometheus.
Yes.
The Ridley Scott returned in 2012. Do you believe this film is 12 years old?
Oh my goodness.
And returned with Prometheus, a film that was very anticipated but critically very mixed reviews. And I look forward to talking about that movie with you next time on the VHS Vault. But before they do, they need to, if they want to be part of the gang, they want to be hanging out with us, if they want to get special exclusive things they may not get anywhere else, what do they need to do, Jason?
Well, in the video description below, you will find a link to our Patreon page. Please, please, please click on that link and become a Patreon, because a little birdie has told me that there is a special program that may or may not have been uploaded to the Patreon page that you can only see there now. So go check it out. I don't want to say what it is. All I can say is it will make you go hee hee in anticipation.
I have no idea what he's talking about. But until then, we'll see you next time on the VHS Vault.
What are you talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about. You were there with me when we recorded it.
Oh, I was there in body. Only in body.
In stench.
Glorious.